That Rico.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Shake ya. This year, blessing, money, testimonies. God they follow you they go. This year, good news, giant, plenty bowling. God they follow you they go. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Even before you come, he don't answer prayer. My Baba is too sure, he not fit for your hand. Even before you call, he don't answer prayer. My Baba is too sure, he not fit for your hand. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Even before you come in and answer prayer. My Papa is to share it on before your head. Ah, si tu vis le contraire, sache que papa va gérer. C'est à toi de rester focus, car de l'invisible vient le visible. My papa is to share it on feel for your hand. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Grand afternoon, Alkebulan. Welcome to another Alkebulan Inspirational Sunday. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yes, it is 4 p.m. and we're working on our new time. We decided to change this particular time because I was asked to be at adult service more. So we're attempting one. There's a couple of reasons. So one, we're attempting for Ajay the African, while more Ajay the African, to try to make service sometime with the adults. Also, creating a special time where there's no conflict in families, where the parents want the adult uh, lesson and the kids want something that is more, or the younger individuals want something more that's tailored to them, as well as when we go completely back into the building. I got projects that I'm trying to work on. So we're going to see if 4 p.m. that is the time for families to drop off their youth so that the parents can have an afternoon Sunday to themselves, leaving the kids on the property and us having a spiritual experience that prepares us not only for our day, but for our week and for our lifetime. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully this new time pans out and works well. Today's topic is Lent, time to clean house. And it is Lenten season. It is Lent season and it's Lent season. And this is that particular season where a lot of individuals are focused on, for us, the rise of the African within. We're always working on the rise of the African within, so we don't throw away uh, seasons that might not be defined in a holistic way where we can manifest our greatest selves. However, we sit down and we put the time and the patience and the understanding, the prayer, the insight we have for the last 70 years, building spiritual practices in this journey so that we are manifesting our greatest selves. We're seeing the rise of the African within. This is our social media Pan African movement where we're bringing Black folk of the diaspora together all over so that we can gain a clear understanding of who we are, whose we are, and what we are called to do. We are looking at Lent season, a season of reflection. And so those who may not have practiced Lent or indulged in Lent, let me explain. It is the 40 days, and we have already embarking on it. And so this is our first in terms of Keebaland um, uh, session on it this year in 2024 because they have Walla J in the building during those times, and I was unable to leave the building and get back here in enough time to actually put on service. So I'm still balancing that, doing that balancing act, finding the God within to be able to accomplish what I'm called to. And everybody has a different calling. Everybody has different assignments, and so I'm working on mastering my assignment. So with this, the next 40 days, it is definitely uh before, when it's the 40 days before Resurrection Sunday. And so these 40 days before Resurrection Sunday, because we are looking in Resurrection Sunday for you to be able to see the God within even more. It is for you to see the God within. It's the resurrection of your awareness of the God within. What? Ajay? Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today when it comes to time to clean house. Lent. And so we already know that we are in the season where we are trying to experience infinite blessings. This is the season of a great harvest. 2024, the whole year, season of a great harvest. So whatever you're thinking is what you're going to manifest faster than normal. So if you're thinking negative, then those who are thinking negative got a whole lot of negative coming to them. And those who are thinking positive have a whole lot of positive. But our focus is always going to be the kingdom of God, the kingdom of God within. And Lent is a season where we are focused on looking inward to develop the glow that is placed on the inside of us. Not something that is on the outside of us, but the things that are on the inside. And so we go inward, connecting to all the things that are good. We want to get that glow. And in order us to access that glow, we have to connect to all the things that are good. But there's a lesson to this, so it's a twist. To get to the things that are good, you have to get out the things that are bad. Time to clean house. We're talking about Lent. And in order to actually get the best out of Lent, not only do you got to focus on the things that are good, but you got to get out the things that are bad. And so in that space, when we say that Lent is the season of reflection, we have to then look inside ourselves and ask questions amongst ourselves so that we can find out where we are in this journey. We can find out where we are. Parents watching with their kids, there's certain questions that you have to ask your children how they feel about themselves, how they feel about school, how they feel about their friends, how they feel about family, how they feel about life. If you're going to help them clean house for the sake of finding a greater experience of who they are. I was invited to a service today, sister service, by the organizer of Sidhu. and they were talking about certain things that, but they didn't necessarily mention Lent, but it was spiritual. And they talked about the things that kept you from being you. When did you accept the fact that you didn't have a voice, you didn't have a say so, you didn't have anything that made you great? But I said first somebody had to declare that. Now on Lent in this season, as those who are believers, we know that there's goodness of God within, but then there's also bad things. So you got to ask the hard questions. And so we look at Lent as a self reflection tool for transformation. Like, uh, yeah, you can't get to the point where you are a complete glow from inside out without a process of transformation. Right. Getting everything out of you that doesn't belong is a process of transformation. And it's not something that just happens by happenstance. You got to put the work in. So there are things inside you. There are things, ideas, thoughts, energy that are dark, that don't light the inside of you out. But there's that one light that glows, that one power that manifests great things. And that's what this cleaning is about. It's about focusing on your consciousness. Yes, because how you think and how you feel is a manifestation of your consciousness. We can't start Lent until you understand that I'm dealing with my consciousness, my thinking, my feeling, and why I do what I do. Your consciousness. In your consciousness, are there things in there that don't bring light to you? And if those light bulbs, those ideas, those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions don't bring light to you, you gotta learn how to free that space. And so taking a look at developing a deeper understanding of yourself. Yes, this is the topic. It's time to clean house. We have to use these steps in order to get that light that is in magnified. And some of us have light coming out already, but some of us, it's not as bright as it should be. That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And so the first thing is understanding the importance. Step one, the importance of self reflection. How valuable is it to getting you to be your greatest self? You don't just say, oh, some of us have great self. Some people do that. Some of us do. But some of us need to go through processes to get there. And so understanding how important it is to take an inner look at who you are, because some things that are sitting and it's getting out, you got great blessings in you, but sometimes the blessing, when you go to clean house, there's a lot of trash on the inside. You're like, what? Man. And you see the little boy looking through the trash trying to find something good. He's looking through the trash trying to find something good. So is there how much in your consciousness do you got to dig out to actually get to experience your greatest self? And if you can't find it, it is because of how you filled up your thoughts. Who wants to be digging in a trash can? That's when you're dealing with the things that have been won't serve you to your best interest. Won't serve you in your best interest. If in your conversations, and you got to look at everything that you do, the music you listen to, the TV shows you watch, the conversations you have, your emotions, and how you process things. If you have trash going inside of your consciousness, you're gonna have trash coming outside your consciousness. Anytime you go inward to get something, what's going to come out is not going to be anything that you could really use. And that is something that you have to learn. It's not going to be something that you could really use, and a lot of people don't have like dealing with this. But some individuals enjoy cleaning house. I know when we were at the nursery, and I was teaching at the nursery, and at the end of the day, we had to do clean up, and Barney was the thing back in, and we singing that song, and everybody's happy to clean. Why? Because it begins the experience of something of another experience. It moves on. So taking a look at that, you have to understand it in order to be your greatest self. The importance of self-reflection. You have to clean. It's the tool you use to get to understand you. And one of those tools that you could use to get to understand you is having mindfulness practices. Like, mindfulness practices. And that's writing down your goals, writing down your dreams, writing down what you hope for, what you wish for, creatively expressing yourself, painting something, drawing something, and meditation, mindful practices that help you explain who you are. Try everything, almost everything and anything, and do your best at it. Some people love to paint, some people love to draw, some people love to write poetry, some people love to write short stories. Do your best at it to see what comes out of it. Lent is about cleaning what's inside you that does not work for you. Another way, a practice or a step to use for developing a greater understanding of how God made you to be is also seeking feedback. Like, huh? Find those individuals that you know that really love you. Those individuals that can talk to you, and sometimes feedback you might not like it. But as you're examining yourself, you're examining in your life, you're examining your behavior, you will have those individuals that will tell you about you. Hence, I got two stories, two individuals. I'm mentioning Romani now. Last week I was talking about Romello. Now his little brother Romani was going to school and he was acting up. His mother was calling me and was telling me about it. Went to visit him and I looked at him and I said, "Oh, so you focus on not being your best self," and immediately got sad. But in the conversation, his mom was able to talk to him and ask him, "Excuse me, is this what God called you to do today?" And looking at himself and listening to her and her guiding him to what he's supposed to be, he was hurt within himself and said, he's going to do better. I don't know why I did this, Mom. And I didn't realize I was being bad until after I said what I said to my teacher, which was real mean. And she said, wait a minute, wait a minute. I didn't mean that. Please don't tell my mommy. Because it came out. Sometimes things that are inside comes out of you when you least expect it. When there are negative things in you, but when they come out, sometimes it takes you being able to listen to someone else give you guidance on what you should replace that with, how that you should get that out. And for us in our neighborhood, in our community, in our church, we call it the group experience. Surrounding your friends, and we'll talk about the group experience more with Pentecost. Surrounding yourself with people that truly care about you to the point where when you're doing wrong, they don't follow. They got to tell you about yourself. And a lot of times people don't like that. People do not like being told about who they are. And if you that type of person who is going to be mad at your friends for telling you who you are, that's the issue. And then if you the one short fused individual, short fused, meaning you get mad real fast, and somebody's trying to just give you a truth of their experience about you, then you cut their head off. Not cool, because that leads to the next phase. But always surround yourself. They say iron sharpens iron by individuals who are strong enough to be honest. And then sometimes you have to be brave enough to ask somebody to tell you the truth. When things are not working right, hey, I need to ask you a question. Because things are not working right in my life, or I'm not being my greatest self. What do you think is my issue? And how do you see me coming out of it? Since you're so close to me. Sometimes the only people who can get us to our greatest selves are the ones that are close to us. And then there are strangers who are looking from the outside in and say, hey, I can guide you. Be brave enough to ask the questions that you really don't want to hear the answers. Mm, that's good. That's when you know you're dealing with Lent. That's when you know you're cleaning house. Because some of us get that self righteous experience because we are in these spiritual environments that we don't need to clean anything and I don't need to address anything about myself. Not true. I had somebody give me a Lenten, she was like, Ajay, Walamu Ajay, my good brother in God. She said, your fire burns. I said, "Excuse me." She said, when you speak to those who are around you that you're supposed to be doing this journey with, your fire burns. She said, the ancestors are on me heavy to explain this to you. Now, she's explaining it to me because she wants me to clean house, which is me, the inside of me. She wants me to get rid of, wait, any garbage in me that ain't doing me justice. That was the purpose of her telling me the truth. She said, your fire burns. Now, I don't know how not to be me. And sometimes being me and being my greatest self, I cause people like shy away. Why? Because I'm gonna expect you to do the same. And if you don't, yeah, I got a certain feeling. I ain't doing this for 30 years. And we all doing this for 30 years together. You want to act like you didn't get the same lessons I got for 30 years. And then in 30 years, your complaints are stronger than your praise. Ooh, it's crazy. My fire burns. Because sometimes it's supposed to. But what she said, clean it out so that they can learn to communicate. So my daughter, this wasn't my daughter who told me. It was Bishop Ayana, for those who know, powerful sister, and I love her, and I took it to heart. And so then my daughter for Christmas gave me mm, blue stones. These stones, and I keep them close when I'm doing this. Why? Because stones are used for communication. She said, "Daddy, I want you to focus on your communication." And the spirit came to me and said, and this is before she gave me the stones. I went out and bought my own big blue stone, not knowing this is special to me. And very few people know what this means. So if you know what this means, yeah, we super close. Okay. And no, I'm not telling anybody. And so you have to have those individuals around you that help you see yourself. One, true friends, you're honest. Two, be brave and ask the hard questions to your true friends. Seek feedback. Another thing that you could use for helping you develop, clean your house, or look at another step would be understanding your emotional intelligence. Right? You got to practice emotional intelligence, meaning, I don't, you don't see my face on this one. Fix this. Right? You have to understand that you are in control of all your emotions. Some of us go through particular things, situations, and circumstances where one love, Sister Chinzira, appreciates you. Who else in there? Hey, Native, where my sons at? You need to have my sons come up for the summer. Real talk. If you want them to come for the summer, just holler at me. You have to stay in control of your emotions. Cleaning house. All your boundaries. Set your boundaries. You see it? Your boundaries from you to other people. Don't punch nobody, hit nobody, take something from yourself. Control your emotions. Control your thoughts and your actions. You are in control. Don't allow the situation to have control over you. Again, emotional intelligence is the process of cleaning your house. Set your goals. Here's one. Emmanuel. Yeah, that's my boy. You see, Emmanuel is my dude. Emmanuel, what's grade is he in? Forget what grade is he in. He's in elementary school, right? I think he's in the fifth, something like that, sixth maybe. And Emmanuel, we had a conversation. I told him about when I was little, and I said, I might be ugly because my family made me think I was ugly, but I'm not. I'm gonna be smart. And there's nothing they're gonna be able to do about how smart I am. So my goals were set high. And when I set my goals and I'm getting great grades, I told my mom, hey, I want to be able to do what I want to do. Why? Because I'm in control of everything. Chores, walking the dog, uh, school work, and protecting my siblings. I set goals for myself to make sure that nobody is going to stop me from being my greatest self and the experience that I'm in. Walking with my friends, there's just a lot of goals. Now, Emmanuel, he wants the feeling of being trusted in his actions with himself. So I said, well, if that's what you want to do, set your goals in academics and study your butt off, and then dictate. You talk to your mom about your bedtime schedule. So he set his goals high. I'm gonna be my best self in school. That boy coming back. This is the second term where it was like straight A's because he was doing bad in school one time. Straight A's. Went out there again, straight A's. Third report card coming through, straight A's. Set your goals. Know that you are in control of everything that you produce. No, nothing outside of you. We talk about emotional intelligence. Why? To help you clean the house. That's you. And then what I give my energy to. Woo, you're in control. I remember one kid tried to talk me into robbing a store, but I was 19, 18, 18, 19 years old. I got in touch with the wrong friend, tried to talk me into getting the blueprints from the building, jumping in through the air conditioning, the duct, and robbing a major department store. I said, get out. I put him away so fast, I drove him to his house. Got out the car, walked into him, and looked him out of the eye. This is the last time we're ever going to talk. I can't even indulge in the friendship. I need to walk away. And if I see you around my house and my family, again, we got problems. I'm not giving my energy to anything negative. You don't want that. Make sure don't let your friends talk you into doing something. Don't talk yourself into doing something you're not supposed to be doing. You are in control. Emotional intelligence. How I speak to myself, emotional intelligence. Oh, I'm stupid. No, you're not. We say that you have to learn to speak life. I am getting help to help me study even further. Always speak encouragements, always speak love, kindness, everything. How you speak to yourself will tell you how you carry yourself. You are beautiful, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're great, you're fearless. And sometimes fearless is not doing things by yourself, but fearless is not being afraid to ask somebody to give you some assistance. My daughter Ayan figured that out. In the eighth grade, she was flunking. She was no seventh grade. She wasn't doing eighth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. Yeah, and no, it was ninth because she had to go to KIP collegiate, and she was doing bad in school by midterm. And she said she went to the teacher and started asking for extra credit. She started developing study sessions after class. She started doing everything that she needed to do to seek, help what she's giving her energy to. I'm not gonna fail. I'm going to do everything I can do. And then she came to me and said, "Daddy," I said, "Yes." I was doing bad and I was failing two classes. Right? Yes, but I knew that I could do better. How she spoke to us. And instead of coming to you, I had to be fearless and go ask for help. And I was studying and ask for extra credit. Emotional intelligence. Some of the things that we need to help us understand who we are. We're cleaning house. Cleaning house. The house is you. And then the issue is how I handle my challenge. You cannot run away that are difficult. Sometimes you have to face them. If there's a bully in school, tell somebody, talk to them, let them know that there's a kid that is making me feel uncomfortable. How you handle your challenges. When somebody you see someone else bullying somebody else, you just saw it. You saw the kid being miserable. Now that kid is frightened because the kid isn't you, but the kid won't tell on no, on that other kid because he is terrified. How do you handle your challenges? That's not only a test for the person who's being picked on, but it's more of a test for somebody who witnessed it. Because if you say nothing, you're the bully too. Stop being the bully. How do you handle your challenges? You're asked to create a project for school and it's difficult. You need some help and some guidance. Did you go to the teacher and ask for some understanding? Did you go to your friends and say, "Hey, how are you doing this?" Even a video game, and everybody loves to play video games, and it's difficult. Yeah, go get one of them books that tells you, explains you the game, and read it if you hadn't figured it out. How you handle the challenge. Another thing about in terms of emotions, and there's a couple of tools that you could use to help you with emotions in terms of responding to people would be the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Live life in a way that you want to around other people, the way you want other people to live life around you. Then you will develop an interaction and an experience where you know who your friends are. Why? Because you cleaned your house to the point where you attract your buddy. And that's deeply, deeply important. The other aspect of understanding you, cleaning your house, that is you. You're the house. You are the house. Is the issue, and see number five, I don't see why how number five got messed up, right? But it's supposed to say self assessment. You're like, what is self assessment? It's the fifth one to Lent cleaning, understanding the importance that you have to do it, have mindful practices, seek feedback, establish some emotional intelligence, and the big one, next one, the last one, is self assessment. Asking yourself, self assessment is a report card on how you doing. It's a report card on how you doing. And sometimes the only person now you can ask somebody to grade you on your behavior, your goals, your everything that you've done. 'Cause you know how, boy. Now I don't know if y'all do these chores. My mother was like this. I cleaned the stove the way I wanted to clean the stove, and I thought it was clean. And my mother would wake you up in the middle of the night if you didn't clean her kitchen the way she wanted you to clean her kitchen. Goals. The goals were being my best self in everything. I wasn't my best self. I got tired and didn't feel like I should have to do it. Man, what did I show you how to do? What did I tell you? How did I tell you to do it? Did you do it? And so those are assessments. My report card. Assessments. Did I do what I was called to do to the best of my ability? Did I treat everybody the right way? If I needed help on homework, did I ask somebody? How many people did I ask? This is that process of cleaning your house. It's the assessment part. You can ask somebody, hey, this is what happened. This is what I did. How do you think I do well? Now, real talk, I ask for an assessment of all the parents that are watching me, whether you're watching Alkebulan Informational Sunday or whether you're watching the African Speaks, they're individuals that talk or dialogue with me, and I ask them for my report card, my assessment. Why? Because I'm trying to get better at making sure I can do what the assignment that God gave me to give, which is develop the people around me so they can manifest the rise of the African within. It's my assignment. Now, some of us, once you become the God body that the person that you're supposed to be, you'll find what Your your responsibility, your medicine is. My medicine is to teach, lead, develop, grow, help evolve. That's it. Create institutions that do that for all age groups. All age groups. I do, man. Y'all come around and listen to the African Speaks parents, and there's always something that comes out of the African for you and your children. Akibaland is for the kids. Akibaland, but that doesn't mean that you can't get anything from it. So hopefully you still get it. So that there's always a report card that you have to give when you're doing it. And every year it gets the study gets harder. What I have to do now before a Resurrection Sunday, whoo, and then I go through my own assessment. And that's the thing, needing a group, because some people don't even know what you're trying to do. Most people don't. I find myself some now in a field by myself where I'm like, okay, I need somebody to sit in these groups, join me in this journey so that I can be assessed on my report card. But you're always looking for that. And sometimes, you know, in that process of assessment, sometimes it's just you and the creator. Sometimes it's just you and the creator, the voice of the ancestors, no one there but you. So what does your report card say? And you have to get to that point where you're understanding what your report card is. Because the more and more and more you dive deep into you and you're assessing yourself, giving yourself your own report, woo, the closer you get to your most powerful self. Look at the eyes and the face of the brother. He flexing muscles that you can't see because everything is internal. Man, that's when you're cleaning house. That's what Lent is for. As it prepares you for Resurrection Sunday, a deeper awareness of your sense of self as the African in you comes out. You find out the power that is inside of you that makes you the super kid that God called you to be, the super being that God called you to be. And it doesn't have an age in it. It doesn't have an age in it. The quicker you understand that you have to keep your house, your body, your thinking, your mind, your heart clean, the faster you will be able to experience your most powerful self. And that's the thing. That's what Lent is about, preparing you for the resurrection of your awareness. Because when you were born, when you was a baby, yeah, you knew you was great. But the world and the way we bring you out changes that. By nature, when you're an infant, they say the perfect being. Why? Because nothing corrupted you. Nothing steered you wrong. Then when you start looking at the world, things may change. And so you got to get back to that super being that you were when you was an infant. Yeah, get back to that super being. And it's doing these processes of Lent, cleaning your house, which is everything inside your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, how you feel, all of that. It's just like the development of being a tree. When they talk about good fruit, a good tree produces good fruit. And that was one of the conversations that we had with Ramani. If your mama is a good tree, you're supposed to be good fruit. You're supposed to reflect what your mom gave. But if you choose not to, and you are functioning from something that you picked up somewhere else, the trash within, that fruit is rotten fruit because you wind up being your own tree. They say a fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So, but when you were able to tell him that he did something wrong, no, the roots, you see how the roots are in the soil? It's getting something from things that you can't tell. You see a beautiful tree, but what it feeds the tree comes from inside the dirt, inside the soil. You can't put soda and expect the tree to grow. God feeds the tree sunlight, it feeds the tree water, it feeds the tree minerals. Everything happens from the inside out. And for you to be great, you have to do the things from inside out. And before we close, I want you to understand this. The kingdom of God does not come with observation. This is the scripture, Luke 17:20 to 21. Nor will it come, nor will they say, I see it here, or I see it there. For indeed the kingdom of God is within you. I'm going to explain that. You can't look outside yourself for your own greatness. You're looking at something to tell you how wonderful you are. No. The kingdom, the power of God is not, oh, it's coming to get me. No, it's inside you. God made you powerful. God made you perfect. God made you a king or a queen. He made you a little god and little goddesses. He made you a prince or a princess. He made you African. He made you royal. And to find all that is beautiful about who you are, you have to look internally. Our job is to lead you there, to get you there, to have that experience of the African within you. So, yes, we're dealing with your consciousness because we are seeking for the greater light that is the creator within you to come out because we are expecting the African in you to rise. And if you can do that and be your greatest self, then there's nothing in this world that you can't achieve. And so I say, let the African